In this episode, we talk with Gabby Guerra. We learn about the amazing organization Éxito, which supports Latino youth and families across Iowa, and I get lied to about a turtle. Enjoy! It's Great to Meet You is a production of the First Unitarian Church of Des Moines. At First Unitarian, we love radically, grow ethically and spiritually, and serve justly. Unitarian Universalism is a pluralistic religious tradition, meaning we don't have a dogmatic statement of belief. Rather, we covenant with one another to put love at the center of our actions. We recognize the inherent worth and dignity of everyone and our interconnectedness with one another. And so our justice work seeks to affirm that worth for all people. If you think all people should be able to flourish and you believe your spiritual journey is less about dogma and more about how you treat one another in the world, you might be a UU. Let's get to the show. Welcome, everyone, and thank you for joining me on It's Great to Meet You, the show where we meet the good people of Des Moines out there doing the good work. I'm your host, the Reverend Steve Seek, and I serve as the minister at First Unitarian Church of Des Moines. Today, we have the pleasure of talking with Gabby Guerra, the executive director of Éxito. Gabby, it's great to meet you.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. I'm very happy to be here.
Gabby, tell us about your work.
Yes. Well, Éxito has been around the state of Iowa since the year 2005, 2006. And we serve Latino youth and families across 18 different communities in Iowa, serving students from 5th grade all the way through college now. And we specifically focus on after-school programming for young people. So we want to make sure that our students feel prepared for the future, that they have a plan, so all of that college information, building their leadership skills, making sure that they're involved in their community and that they know that they can give back and that their community supports them. And then ultimately, all of that's done through a cultural lens. So ensuring that they feel proud of where they're from, learn about their culture, and keep those cultural values alive as well.
Wow, that's amazing. I want to just recap what I'm hearing. So you're serving 18 different communities across Iowa?
Yes.
And a focus on sort of 5th through 12th grade.
5th through 12th grade in the after-school programming, but we also have college clubs. So we have a college club at Iowa State University.
Oh, that's
at
great.
Nyack, so that's in northern Iowa, and then we're also at Indian Hills Community College.
Yeah. And you'd mentioned, this caught my eye, doing it through cultural lens. I used to teach education classes for like education majors, and we talk about culturally responsive pedagogy.
Yes.
Right. So,
Yes,
can you share a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so Éxito first started as a monthly program for Latina girls in Marshalltown, Iowa. And during that time, we started out of a program out of the AAW, or the American Association of University Women. They were seeing that a lot of Latina girls not graduating from high school, high pregnancy rates at the time. And so they got together to think about, well, what is something that could benefit Latina youth to encourage them to continue their education. And so they started this monthly mentorship program, pairing up madrinas with ahijadas, so godmothers with goddaughters. And they would get together once a month to simply talk about their dreams and their goals and how they could achieve those dreams. But the beautiful part about it is they were being paired up with other Latino leaders in their community so they could see themselves in the future, so they could see what they could achieve. And that model and that structure was very positive and very focused. And those first Latino leaders that were madrinas continue to stay engaged with the program for many years. And we continue to see success with the girls that were in the program. So then it turned into after school. And so when I talk about Éxito, I really like to focus on the culture part because it is what sets us apart from any other after school program that you might be familiar with, right? Because we want to welcome our students no matter how they feel when it comes to their culture, right? So we all have students that might be second or third generation Latino that might feel very distant from their community and they want to learn more or they want to make more connections. And then we also have students that are recent immigrants that are still learning English, that are still learning about the culture here. And they all find a space in that Éxito feel welcome and they belong and they get to see leaders that look like them, role models that look like them, and all the activities and the field trips and the places that they get to go are focused and have that cultural lens. So they talk about what does it look like as a Latino youth to succeed in this space, whatever space that might be. What are some barriers that they might have to think about or overcome, and how can we support their success? So that has been truly what sets us apart from any other program that I've ever seen.
Yeah, that it's culturally specific and mentored and helping envision. Yeah, as you said, I can see myself in my 20s and my 30s now. Yeah. Are these at schools or churches or community centers or?
Yes, that's a great question. So I'd say the majority of our programs are directly after school in the school building.
Oh, in the schools. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So we have memorandums of understanding, so agreements with a variety of school districts across the state. And these partnerships that we're super thankful for allow us space in school. And a lot of our facilitators end up being teachers, counselors that they already see during the day, and we provide additional space after school for the Éxito program. And so we provide all of the training and the curriculum, the snacks and supplies, and the students don't have to worry about transportation. They just get to stay after school once a week to be a part of Éxito.
Oh, wow. And if I'm remembering right, there's also a part of Éxito that focuses on families and supporting families.
Yes. So that's been a very big part of our success when it comes to connecting with students, because we need to build the trust with families. Mm-hmm. So they can let their students stay after school with us. And so we can get them to give their permission to do all extracurricular activities. So we do 2 family programs a year for every Éxito program that we have. In Des Moines, those family programs look like, in the fall, we do what's called Meet the Leaders Night. And that is a 2-part event where we have students and professionals from the community do speed mentorship. It's kind of like speed dating, but instead they talk about their careers and their education and how they got there. And the students get to learn how to interview people, how to show professionally, how to ask questions. And we're talking about 6th graders, right? Talking to an attorney or a CEO or whatever their career might be. And they're learning about all these different careers. And so while the students are doing that, we have the parents in the separate room, and we do educational workshops for parents. And it depends on what's going on in the community and what parents would like to learn most about. So usually what we end up doing a lot of is, how do you support your middle school student through testing? Or how do you support your high school student to choose the career they want or identify the college that they want? Just explaining the educational process, what's FAFSA. We do a lot of those types of workshops with parents, and then also getting them to understand what Éxito is and how it benefits their students. Because we'll have students join Éxito for 5th grade, and we'll see them all the way through graduation. And so having some of those older parents in the family helps those younger parents see how beneficial the program is. So we'll get to see parents 2 to 3 times a year, but we're in communication with them through a newsletter, and then we have a special private textbook for them to share additional resources as we see fit. But staying in the know with what parents need and what families need has become very important for us, so we can be flexible and provide any additional resources that they might need during that time.
It sounds like such a responsive and connected web of relationships that you're building. It just occurred to me, some of the listeners might not know. I would translate Éxito as like toward success. How would you translate it?
I would do the same thing.
Okay.
Yes, toward success.
Okay, so it's like a prepositional, right? Like toward, like we are flying the plane toward success. Yeah.
Yeah.
How can the Des Moines community help you in this work?
Yes, that's an excellent question. So I think one of the biggest pieces for us is building awareness of what Éxito is. Mm-hmm. I've been with this organization for 6 years total, and still I think we're a hidden gem, right? We serve about 800 students a year in those different communities. We have a lot of programs at Des Moines, but we're also in a lot of smaller communities where the Latino population is really forcing the growth in those communities, but Latinos don't have enough support to succeed. And that's why Éxito is in those places. But I think, again, just knowing who we are, why this mission is important, why we need to support Latino students to make sure that they have that plan and that they feel that they are a part of the community, right? That they don't have to hide, that they're not invisible, that they matter just as much as everybody else, and that they have something to contribute, give back, and really be have that sense of belonging. And so I've been working really hard to build that awareness of Éxito programs and get them to grow. I think getting us to meet more people, so being in podcasts like this always opens the door to a listener, right, that might have a connection to a company or a small business that wants to do some sort of program or event for one of our clubs. Those types of things are huge. So we're always thankful for connections, and volunteers are super important as well. So like I mentioned, that first event that we do in the fall, Meet the Leaders Night, we recruit about 50 to 60 volunteers for that event. And those are folks from any career that want to spend about an hour and a half to 2 hours talking to our students about their future. That is huge. So if you're looking for those small ways to get engaged but that have big impact, that would be one of those ways that you can do that. And then we also have another volunteer opportunity in the summer. For any writers out there, we have students write their first scholarship essay, and we pair them up with a volunteer to provide feedback. So they have a really strong essay before they start pursuing scholarships to college. And so we require a lot of volunteers for that event as well, and that usually happens in July. So those are the biggest ways that I think we can support Éxito. But just in general, I think being in the know with what's happening in the Latino community and trying to support as much as you can, even when you're in spaces where people aren't advocating for issues that impact Latino families, we're still responsible to make sure those voices are heard, even if they're not in them. And so being that advocate as much as you can is huge.
Amen. And now we'll do a speed round of questions. This just helps the listener get to know Gabby a little bit better. Gabby, where's your favorite place to eat in Des Moines?
So there's this small restaurant on the south side of Des Moines called La Cuscatleta Side. So it's where the old AIB college used to be, off the floor. And they're a small Salvadoran restaurant. I was born in El Salvador, so of course that's my favorite cuisine. And they have the best pupusas in town. So if you're curious about Salvadoran food or want to get some good pupusas, La Cuscatleta is fun.
Is that on Fleur and Bell? Give or take?
I think so.
Oh, okay. That's 100 yards
so
from
you're
here.
super close. Yes. And it's super cute in there. So It's a great place to, have some lunch. And the pupusas are so cheap and they're so big. So delicious.
I'm afraid that if I go once, I'll stop packing a lunch for the rest of my life.
That might be the case. You are very close.
Where is your favorite place to go outdoors in the Des Moines area?
So I live in the North of Grand neighborhood. So I spend a lot of time in the park by the Art Center.
Oh, yeah.
Is that Greenwood Park? If I'm remembering correctly, I love walking my dog over there. And the Art Center in general, especially in the spring and the summer, it's a beautiful space. And then there's a tennis court that's kind of hidden up there, and I love to play tennis up there. So they got a little bit of everything.
They do, and it's surprisingly vast out there. Yeah.
Yes.
Do you have a favorite indoor place in Des Moines?
Ooh, to do anything?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a great question. Let's see. I like to spend a lot of time drinking coffee. So I go over to Chain and Spoke off of Ingersoll on 28th. So I like to get my coffee there. They also have really good snacks. If I have a weekend where I don't have a lot on my calendar, I love to just walk through Valley Junction and just visit all the shops. I try not to spend money, but I do spend. And Reading in Public is a great bookstore in Valley Junction, super cute in there as well. Yeah, so walking around and spending time through the shops in Valley Junction.
That sounds good. Do you have a favorite grocery store?
I'm a big fan of Aldi. You will always find me at the Aldi in Missouri. Can't beat prices. and the Aldi Funds aisle. It's my favorite part of my Sundays.
I just saw a giant article about how Aldi is winning the grocery store war right now. So you're ahead of the
I
curve,
would
Gabby.
believe it.
Do you have a position on the Cyclones, Hawkeyes, Bulldogs, or Panthers? Do you have an affiliation or?
Oh, see, that's a tough one for me. I'm a Buckeye. I graduated from the University of Iowa,
Okay.
but I just started grad school at Drake. So I'm
Uh,
officially a Bulldog now.
okay. Well, you can be both, I think. Can
It
you?
could be both. And then just to add some to the mix, my little sister, she's in her second year at Iowa State.
Oh,
So
no,
I got
that you
some
can't do.
merch because I gotta support her. Every time I tell a Hawkeye that, they're like, no, don't do
Yeah,
that.
no, I didn't go to any of this, but that's fantastic. Okay, here's a question from kids here. What's the best superpower to have?
And I've answered this question a few times, and I always change my answer.
Good, good.
Teleportation. That's where I'm landing.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
I think about the amount of time we spent traveling, like
Hmm.
in our car, on planes, how much time I could save, and all the additional things I could do if I could just whoop, in another
Blink your
place.
eyes and be an Aldi. Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, that sounds good. Okay, and then the staff here like to give us a pretty quick challenge here. Do you know how to play the game Two Truths and a Lie?
Yes.
Okay, can you?
Yep.
I will try and discern which of the three things you tell me is a lie.
I'm afraid I made it too easy, but we're gonna see.
Well, that's okay. I'm actually quite terrible at this game, so I think you're going to beat me. All right, two truths and a lie.
Okay.
I'm going to figure out which one's a lie.
My favorite sport is tennis.
Your favorite sport is tennis.
I have a pet turtle,
You have a pet turtle.
and I'm an avid women's basketball fan.
You're an avid women's basketball fan. What is your turtle's name?
Olivia.
Olivia. Now, you may be trying to trick me because you've already mentioned tennis and you've mentioned that you went to Iowa and, of course, the Caitlin Clark phenomenon, but you never mentioned anything about turtles. So I think you're trying to get me to say that the turtle thing is a lie. But I'm going to say that you aren't a women's basketball fan, but that you are a devoted parent to Olivia, your pet turtle. Did I get it?
No.
Okay, good.
I'm just laughing for myself because I really wanted to trick you. I do have a pet, but she's a dog and her name's Olivia.
Okay, so you did get me.
I
All right.
had a pet turtle growing up.
Yeah.
But I don't remember his name. I was really small in El Salvador. So, but I don't currently have a pet turtle.
Okay. Well, then the streak is so far every guest has won and I've always lost. So good job. And now we come to the last part of the show. Gabby, is there anything you want to promote? Any ways that we can look up for events coming up in Éxito?
Yes, we have a few things coming up, and some of them a little bit further out, but I still want listeners to keep this in mind. So I had mentioned our summer camp that we usually do in July. This is tentative to be at Iowa State University. We're going to have about 60 students there, so we're going to be needing volunteers for that scholarship writing night. So if you're a writer and you're looking for volunteers, give some time back. We feed you with some pizza. You get to read an essay, provide some feedback, and it's all around a lot of fun. We'll open that up for volunteers here in a couple of weeks. And
Okay.
so we'll have that information on our website. So if you're looking to volunteer, that's a great way to give back. And then we're also going to have a Loteria night at Big Grill 3. This is going to be in September. But this is a great way to come and have some fun, play Loteria if you've never played before, and raise money for Éxito. So keep that on your calendar for September. We'll also have that on our website and send it out via our newsletter. So if you're not on our newsletter yet, you can also get on that at www.alexitoiowa.org so you can stay informed with all the sweet events that we have.
And then I'll also link on the site ways to get involved as a volunteer. And I just want to lift up First Unitarian. We do a pretty big fundraiser every fall for the Mary Campos Scholarship. So keep an eye out for that when that comes back to us.
Yes, we're super excited. We just wrapped up that fundraising cycle, and so we're going to start doing some the scoring for the applications that have come in, and then we'll announce those winners in April. So that'll be on social media. And we'll start fundraising for that scholarship again. Usually in September or October is when it kicks back up. But First Unitarian and all the folks there really give so much to that fund. So thank you so much again for bringing that up and reminding us that that's a great way to get engaged as well.
Well, Gabby, it's so great to meet you. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much. It's been fun.
And that does it for us today. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Keep doing the good work, Des Moines.